Hello everyone, Nintendo Gen 64 is here, and yeah, welcome to the video. So, I've been playing a lot of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled recently. A lot. I'm talking like I went through the adventure mode again, I did all the Beanox crates because I didn't do those when the update first came out. I beat all the entropy times, I was trying to beat all the oxide times, currently ongoing, attempting to do that. And as I was playing the game, I was saying to my brother, saying to my girlfriend, oh, you know what, I really like this track, or I really hate this track, or oh, I can't wait to play this track, and I realized that I actually have opinions about the tracks in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, and what better way to nice and neatly catalog all my thoughts on these tracks by doing a tier list. That's right, today I'm going to be doing a tier list where I rank all the tracks in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Yes, you might be saying tier lists is a very outdated concept. People have been doing tier lists for a while, and Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is a 3-year-old game at this point. Who cares? I care, okay? So I'm going to make this video, and we'll see how we go. So, look at this. I actually made this tier list. I saw a couple on there. I didn't like them so much, so I made my own one with all the thumbnails and everything. I did that. I put them all in there. So, actually, I just realized you can't see my mouse. Oh well. That's fine. So let's start off with the tier list. We have a few categories here. We have best of the best, very good, okay, not so good, and bad slash boring. And this kind of bad slash boring is kind of reserved, you know, for the ones that I think maybe like just uninspired kind of tracks that I don't like so much. And best of the best, that's like your S tier. And then I'll try and rank everything else in between. And I'm getting a typo for okay. I guess it doesn't recognize just okay. Anyway, let's start. We've got this alphabetically here, which is, you know, not the way I would have done it, but that's fine. Android Alley is our first one. Now, oh, geez, what do I think of Android? You know what? This track, it's okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's got that train section that's kind of annoying, where the train comes in at the very start. It's got the shortcut where you have to sort of jump through the window and get into the inside there. I think the Beanox crate was in there. And it's got those little sweeper guys that come through. It's kind of a boring track. It's not boring, but it's like, it's a couple steps above it. I don't know, it's better than not so good, so I'm going to put it in okay. Assembly Lane, on the other hand, I think is very good. I really like this track, actually. It's a bit of a dull-looking track on the original Nitro Fueled, I think. Oh, sorry, the original Nitro Kart. But in Nitro Fueled, I think they did a really good job of making it a bit more colorful, a little more interesting. I really like the room where you come in and you've got like things that are trying to squish you. You can either take the conveyor belt, which is like the faster route, or you can take the slower route, but the safer route. And then they've got that cool little shortcut where you sort of jump over onto the roof of that house and then onto the other side. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on in Assembly Lane. I think it's a really good track. Barren Ruins. I'm interested that we're getting a lot of these Nitro Kart tracks, which I always think are slightly less inventive than the actual original ones. You know, it's okay. It's fine. I don't think. I don't know. There's that cool like half pipe section which I quite like. There's the little shortcut at the end, which is really hard on Crash Team Race. Sorry, Nitro Kart, but it's kind of easier on Nitro Fueled. But yeah, look, it's a fine track. I don't think anyone's gonna really write home about it. Oh, here we go. This is our first Crash Team Racing track. Blizzard Bluff. It's actually not so good. I don't really like Blizzard Bluff. I think the shortcut is really hard to do, and it's, you know, it's frustrating to do as well, so I don't think that's great. The boulders are annoying. The little ice patches are not great either. They're okay, I guess. Yeah, and there's also, I don't know, I never connected with this track as a kid, and I still don't like it that much. So yeah, Blizzard Bluff, I feel very strongly about putting it in not so good. I do prefer the Nitro Fueled version. I think it's more interesting with like the ski lodge stuff that they kind of tried to implement. But yeah, I don't know. It's not so good. Clockwork Wampa is very good, actually. Yes, I do really like this track. I like the sort of aesthetic of it's a big mansion. It's a big sort of clock factory thing. I don't know how to describe it. I like the bit where you have to jump on the cogs. I like the sort of shortcut section in the track. I like the bit at the start, actually, where the cogs sort of are spinning around and you can get squished by them. And I also like the bit with the the sort of floor that opens up. And I remember a lot of the time on the original Crash Nitro Kart, especially in 2-player mode, you sort of drive through and you'd hit the box, and someone just in front of you would get falling into the whole thing. Falling into the whole thing? Yeah, you know what I mean. Alright, Coco Park. Oh dear, Coco Park. This is a tricky one because, you know what? I'm gonna put it in okay. And the reason for that, you might be thinking, this is a boring track. It is a boring track. It's pretty straightforward. It's just one simple loop around the thing. But it is very challenging to do a lot of the time trials in. I found it's just a pure driving track. There's not many, no frills, no gimmicks, or anything like that. I like the tunnel that you go through. It's kind of nice and picturesque. You know what? The time trial where you have to get those crates and you sort of have to jump up to them. That actually, it turns a very, very, very simple thing into something kind of challenging. So yeah, Coco Park it's just okay. Cortex Castle is best of the best, absolutely. This track is phenomenal. I think when I was thinking about putting this list together, Cortex Castle is one of those tracks that I immediately knew was going to go up here. Mostly because you sort of start outside the castle, go through that courtyard, go inside again, then you come back outside, and it really feels like you're driving through this massive, sprawling castle. I love the shortcut on this track. It's one of those ones where it's like in plain sight, but you have to be pretty good to get it. You have to get just the right angle of the slide boost, the drift boost, whatever you want to call it. And I really like the big jump at the end, and then you come into that section, and you got to avoid the spiders and everything like that. Really inventive track. I think this kind of distills the idea of Cortex Castle down into its like really perfect form. Yes, absolutely love this track. Crash Cove. It's just okay, it's fine. Crash Cove, it's like your first track in the game, there's nothing, like it's kind of easing you into it. I like the shortcut. I like it kind of like tells you, oh, this is how shortcuts work. There's a bit of a red herring with the shortcut too, where you have to sort of, there's like the pirate ship that you can get to that doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of like a nice bonus Easter egg. And then there's later on sort of a long cut with that other pirate ship. So I guess it sort of shows you that there's multiple paths in each course. You can take different routes. It's fine. I like Crash Cove. I'm not upset to see Crash Cove whenever it comes up. Okay, deep sea driving. Deep sea driving. It's just okay. I don't mind deep sea driving. It's fine. I think it's better in the. I think it's better in Crash Nitro Kart actually. I like the sort of magnet section where you sort of like go up around the wall. I think it loses something in the transition into Nitro Fueled where you kind of lose that. Your carts are just going through. I know the weird like electric or magnetic cart mechanic in Nitro Kart, it didn't really achieve anything, but I thought it looked cool, especially in this track. But one good element they added in Nitro Fueled was that sort of sea monster section at the start. I quite like that. But this track it's got a pretty boring shortcut. Is it even a shortcut? I don't know. I think it's like, it feels like it's intended if you just go that way. It doesn't even feel like a shortcut, that little jump thing. But anyway, deep sea driving, it's okay. Dingo Canyon. Dingo Canyon. It's not so good. I don't like Dingo Canyon that much. I think it's a very short track. It's kind of, the scenery is pretty boring. It's just sort of like a cliff with some rocks and things like that. The gimmick where you have to go 2 paths around the thing is kind of not that interesting. And I feel like very constricted on this track. I feel like you're constantly driving and there's like a cliff face on the other side. So yeah, Dingo Canyon, it's not that great. I don't like the armadillos either. And I don't like that part. For some reason, I just hate that part where you go down into that sort of watery section, then you gotta go back up. It just kind of feels redundant to me. Anyway, Dingo Canyon. Dragon Mines is next. I hate Dragon Mines. Maybe that's a controversial opinion. I don't know, but I hate Dragon Mines. I think this is one of those ones where every time it comes up, I hate doing it. I hate the time trial on this. I really do. I think the box placement is so annoying where you have to go up that like shortcut section, get those boxes, and then you go on that section, then you jump back down to it. I don't like it. I hate the minecart thing where it squishes you. I hate the spiral section where you have to go up it. I never could, maybe it's just me, but I could never get the hang of doing it correctly. And I also really don't like the shortcut where you have to go sort of up the minecart thing. Because unless you get the perfect angle on that to get the boost, you're screwed. And yeah, it's just kind of like a boring track. I don't think it's like that interesting to play either. And I really don't like that section at the end of the track where there's like all that sort of gravelly stuff that you sort of slows you down. I think it's kind of it's a bit of a drag. Pun intended. So anyway, Dragon Mines. It's boring. It's bad. Whatever. I don't know if that is that a controversial opinion. I don't really know. But I'm liking though. We have sort of a normal distribution going on here. Will this continue? I don't know. Let's find out. Drive Through Danger. This is a bonus track from Nitro Fueled. You know what? I'm putting this in not so good. I am. I've got to do it. I played it for the first time earlier this week. I played it again just today, just to really get myself, you know, prepared for it and really refresh it in my mind. And you know, I don't like it that much, to be honest. I think it's gimmicky in the sense that it's just, you know, it's what they picture a really hard track is. Just take off the barriers, take off the side barriers, have it completely that you can fall off at any time. The weird sort of mechanic where at the start there's two gates and you pick either like a burger or a pizza, and then depending on which one you pick, it'll actually like make those boosts on the track itself. I don't know. I think it's just kind of, maybe it was, I can see what they were going for, but I don't think it really worked that well. There's only a few times when it actually comes into being useful, and I think it actually screws you up for actually using the shortcut if you pick the wrong one, so it kind of punishes you that way. And yeah, I just think it's one of those, it's very flashy, like there's lots of the set dressing, set decoration, but when you get to the actual crux of it, it's just kind of like a track in space, and we've seen like so many of those in this game. Yeah, so, and that's a bit disappointing too, because that's the last one they released, and I don't think they're doing any more, so Drive Through Danger. Sucks. Well, it doesn't suck, it's one rung above suck. Anyway, Electron Avenue is next, and that is absolutely best of the best. That is a phenomenal track. The original's great, the one on the actual, on Nitro Fueled's great. I have so much fun with this track. First of all, the big jump at the start is spectacular, and I love how they reimagined it in Nitro Fueled. I love the tunnel section with the boosts and the box that you can hit, and it changes what side the boost is on. I love that you can keep blue flame for like basically the entire track. I really like the section with the gates that sort of zap you, and you have to pick, do you go up or do you go under? Yeah, it's a great track. It's got so many cool things, and it's a pure driving track as well. Like it tests your abilities as well as any other track does. Because yes, there are those like sections, but you have to figure out which path to take, what angles to drive at. It's just great. I really like Electron Avenue. I always did like it, but playing it recently in this recent sort of playthrough I just fell in love with the track all over again. So Electron Avenue, absolutely the best of the best. And then we come to Gingerbread Joyride, which I think is, yeah, I think it's pretty crappy actually. I don't like this track at all. I think it's like you know, it's the Christmas track. You know, I know that much. You're kind of driving through a town that's made of gingerbread, I guess. There's like jelly that live, and there's, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it really. The Beanox crate in this track is really annoying. I'll say that much. It's got like one interesting part where you have to like boost, and then you can boost up the big ramp, or you can just go along the ground. Yeah, it's boring. It's a boring track. It's uninspired. There's lots of Christmassy stuff, but the track is so straightforward. And again, it feels like you're really like squished in because you're driving through this sort of like gingerbread town. It doesn't feel like you've got any like scope to move around. It's very constricting. So yeah, I don't like Gingerbread Joyride. I think it sucks. I do, however, love Hot Air Skyway. Actually, you know what? This is gotta go there. That is my favorite track so far. And actually, let me just check. No, Dragon Mines is worse than Gingerbread Joyride. And you know what? I'll do that to... Yeah, there we go. I'm just trying to fix up my tier a little bit here. And actually, I prefer Clockwork Walk to Assembly Lane. Yes. Yes, that looks good so far. Anyway, let's talk about Hot Air Skyway. Sorry, I got distracted. So, Hot Air Skyway, it is fantastic. It's a fantastic track, really ingenious. It actually takes, I guess, what Drive Through Danger was attempting to do and does it correctly, where it is difficult at times with the no barriers on the side, but it's fun, and it actually has that real sense of, like, you know, you're in the air, real sense of danger, real sense of, like, you know, if you fall off, you're done. The world building on this track is exceptionally well done in the, I mean, it was good in the actual CTR, in the original one. I love the blimps with Pinstripe's face on them, but really well done in Nitro Fueled, with the casino in the air and everything like that. I love the bit at the start where you can choose, like, you know, you have to jump, and there's two sort of paths. There's like a shorter path that you have to do a slide boost into the jump, and it kind of, you know, makes you, it's a bit of a shortcut, and there's like the slower path. I like the weird sort of fake shortcut you can do in, I guess it's a glitch, I don't know if it counts, but there's like a weird sort of jump you can do in the original CTR that kind of skips half the track. Yeah, it's a great track. It really is a great track. I love the ending to it. I always get like a sense of drama at the very end because you have to do that really like tough turn. Yeah, I love this track. Hot Air Skyway is fantastic. I love playing it. It's one of my favorite for time trials. It's a really just hardcore driving track as well. So, there you go. Hyper Spaceway. It is... You know what? I was gonna put it in not so good, but I think it's just okay. I don't like this track that much. I think it's... Any of these tracks where it's just like a portion of the track split up into different sections, that kind of disjointed parts, I don't particularly find that interesting. Hyper Spaceway as well, it doesn't really, like, it's not difficult, there's not that much peril, there's not that much, you know, interesting jump. There's a good shortcut at the start. The shortcut, to be honest, is saving it from going down here, because I do think the shortcut's kind of cool. And actually there's like a shortcut and long cut in it as well, so depending on how you take it. But yeah, I think that, and that section with the sort of spinny laser things, I think is way better done in deep sea driving with the sort of spinny wheel things. I don't think it's that well executed in Hyper Spaceway. And I think, generally speaking, I'd rather have like a whole track of just the first portion, because it's way more interesting than everything else. Because I feel like by the time you get here as well, you've kind of seen everything. And I know I should probably just judge it based on its own merits, but in the context of everything else, it does one thing pretty cool, which is that first section after you go through the portal. I like that sort of dystopian, sort of like space industry stuff. But everything after that, I could care less about, or couldn't care less about, depending on how you say that stuff. So anyway, Hyper Spaceway, it's okay. Inferno Island is, you know, I put Crash Cove up here, so I'm gonna put it down here. But I'll put it at the start of Not So Good, because I think it's like the poor man's Crash Cove, if you know what I mean. Like, it's got the sort of shortcut section at the start, which is very, very reminiscent of Crash Cove, although it requires like zero skill to pull off. I think I prefer the sort of darker version in Nitro Fueled to the to its counterpart in Nitro Kart. I think it's got a cooler story going on. The story with like this, you know, the spaceship that's crashed. Is it Oxide's ship? I don't know. But yeah, it's a fine track. I think they really missed a big pun here by calling it Inferno. They should have called it Inferno Island, but I don't know. Maybe they just didn't think about that. If you want to retroactively call it Inferno Island, please send a check to me, and I'll accept it. Who's messaging me? People are messaging me. Anyway, there we go. So yeah, Inferno Island, no, it's whatever, you know, fine. Jungle Boogie, I'll put it up and okay. It's a good track. I think I like the boardwalk stuff. I like the shortcut in this track. I like how it kind of takes you from outside to inside the sort of forest area. Yeah, I like it. I'll put it, actually, I'll move it up to, actually, I'll put it there. I'll put it there, because I do like it a little bit better than all these tracks. In fact, I think this is one of the better, like, beginner tracks, if anything. I think the shortcut in this is really fun. And I do like the sort of ending when you emerge from the forest. Yeah, it's a good track. Koala Carnival. is very good. It's very good. I do like this track a lot. I think it really has that sort of chaotic feeling to it. I like, it gets the idea of multiple paths again, like there's branching paths you can take. You can go underneath the thing, or you can go through the sides. I like the bit at the end where you sort of have to go up and up and up and then go back down. It feels like a roller coaster of sorts, which I think is kind of what they were going for. Yeah, it's a really colorful track. I love all the fireworks and pyro and everything. I like the sort of half-pipey stuff at the start. I think there's lots of boosts you can get in there as well. Very good track. Really, like, I think probably my favorite of the bonuses, or is it? It is not, because Mega Mix Mania is best of the best. It's fantastic. Honestly, this is my favorite track from the bonuses, which is going to spoil some stuff going forward, but I adore this track. I think it has like the closest feeling to an original CTR track. I love the bit where you go into the sort of the wrecked, is it like a tanker or something? It looks like a big ship, kind of like the ship from Twin Sanity that Engine has. You kind of go through the engine room of it, and you come out the other side, and you go to that like sort of like Rustland area with all the paint mines going off, and there's 3 different paths you can take. It's fantastic, really inventive. I love when you actually run into the paint mines and you get all like the paint going all over you. And there's all the graffiti everywhere. It's really quite a good track. I think they did a really good job with Mega Mix Mania. They really like Mega Mix for some reason. Like the guys who made this game are big fans of Mega Mix. So yeah, there you go, Mega Mix Mania. Meteor Gorge. You know, I don't know if anyone's going to agree with me, but I actually really like Meteor Gorge. I think it's a really fun track. I love the shortcut in this track. I think it is very fun to pull off. I like the big sort of iceberg stuff at the start where you sort of go up and then down and then through. It's basic, yeah, it's basic, but I think it's, I don't know, I really like it. I have a fun time with it, and it's one of those tracks where it's just fun to just blast through it. You know, it's really fun just to speedrun as well. So Meteor Gorge, you can go there. I don't think I need to elaborate more than that. Mystery Caves is not so good, unfortunately. I don't like Mystery Caves that much. I think it's sort of lacking in the sense that it's just, it's a dark, cavey level. Yeah, you got the fire stuff, but I don't know. I just don't, it never clicked with me. I do like the turtle bit, where you jump off the turtle heads. I think that's fun. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of there. I think it looks a lot better in the Nitro Fuel. My vivid memories of it as a kid are that the turtles are like sort of cube things. They resemble turtles in like the loosest sense possible. But yeah, like I don't know. I just don't like Mystery Caves that much. Is it a sin? Sue me if it is. Engine Labs I think is okay. I think it's better than these ones though, so I think I'll put it up here next to Jungle Boogie. I think I prefer Jungle Boogie to Engine Labs. Yeah, I love the bit with the Hyper Tunnel. I love the bit with the, actually no, that's the only bit, that's the only bit I like actually. Everything else is okay. I guess the bit at the end where you've got like the holes you sort of have to fall through, it can be annoying. And then it sort of just ends. You go back up to the start. Yeah, it's a lab. It's Engine's lab. But yeah, I don't know. It's a fine track, I think. But comparing it to everything else, it just sort of falls a bit short. Nina's Nightmare. Just whatever. It's fine. I don't think it's as good as I don't think it's as good as these tracks. I think it's probably. You know what? Let's put it under Blizzard Bluff. Blizzard Bluff, yeah. It's fine. The only interesting thing about it is with the big pumpkin spider, where you have kind of 2 paths to diverge around it. Everything else is kind of... It reminds me of like Luigi's Mansion from Mario Kart, actually. But like a poor man's version of that. I mean, anytime you remind me of a poor man's version of everything, immediately knocks you down a few pegs. But yeah, Nina's Nightmares, it's whatever. But Out of Time, I think, is very good. Very good track. I love the clock where you go into the clock. I love how they actually, I love both versions of the clock actually. The version in Nitro Kart where you drive up the clock and down the clock is awesome. Probably the best use of the actual mechanic of the, the magnet cards in the entire game. But I really like how they did it in Nitro Fuel too, where you go into the clock and you've got like the frozen shards of glass. I think that's really cool. I like the shortcut in this track. It's one of those like sort of in plain sight shortcuts that take a bit of skill to do again. I like the windmills, I like the deserty. It feels like you're in like some kind of Salvador Dali painting or something like that. It's really cool. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna move it up to there. Yes, Out of Time. Very cool track. And Oxide Station, it's you know, it's okay as well, but it's probably, I'll put it at the top of okay. I think it's, you know, it's big, it's long, it's hard, but it's, you know, actually it's not that hard. It's pretty easy actually. But again, it's quite cramped. You feel quite cramped in there. Just because you add a ton of speed boost doesn't make it that interesting either. But I think I like the part where you have to go in outer space, and I like how they did it in in Nitro Fueled. I like the shortcut in the original version, which is kind of a glitch anyway. Yeah, maybe it's the color scheme. Maybe I don't love the yellow. It's very yellow when I think of this track. I just think of yellow. And Oxide, racing Oxide on it is interesting. I know you can glitch it a couple times where you can get kind of stuck, so maybe the track is too complicated for its own good. But it's fine. Oxide Station's fine. Papu's Pyramid is definitely best of the best. I adore this track. The shortcuts on it are incredible. The fact that at the very end, that shortcut where you have to sort of jump over the bit of the track is actually intended, and the ghosts actually do it. The time trial ghosts actually do that. I think it's got like 3 shortcuts really, and you can use them in conjunction with each other. So you can use the bit where you jump onto the top of the pyramid, you can use the bit where you jump onto the top of the pyramid, onto that little ledge thing, and then you've got the big one at the end. Yeah, I love this track. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. It looks cool. It's got a lot of skillful drifting around the side. If you're not good at the drifting, it can screw you up, but if you get good at it, it's really fun to drift around the pyramid. It's got those plant things that eat you, which can be frustrating, but if you watch out for them, it's kind of rewarding seeing other people get eaten by them. But yeah, Papu's Pyramid, great track. Polar Pass, it's very good. I like Polar Pass a lot. It's my favorite of the... It's between Polar Pass and Blizzard Bluff. Polar Pass is how you do a snow level well. I love all the stuff with like the snow, with the ice, like the big ice pond thing where you have to jump around. I like the little shortcut thing where you jump over the wall, I guess. I like the bit at the end. I like the bit with the frozen polar bear at the start. Yeah, it's a great track. Polar Pass, iconic. It's an iconic track. So iconic that I will actually put it above Carnival. Koala Carnival. I'll put it... Actually, yeah, I like it there. Is it better than Assembly Lane? No, it's not better than Assembly Lane. No, that's good. Prehistoric Playground is also very good. I like this track a heck of a lot. I think it reminds me of Dino Jungle from Mario Kart Double Dash. I think it would draw a lot of those kind of comparisons. But it's quite a fun track to play with. I like that you've got sort of like a bit of a story going with a big egg in the middle, which sort of hatches into a giant chicken thing. I like the section where you've got the dinosaurs and you can kind of jump over their tails to get a speed boost. I like the bit at the start actually where you sort of start out on the big sort of mountain face. It's kind of like how Dingo Canyon I think was trying to represent that. I think it's done a lot better in Prehistoric Playground. I like the story of the level 2 where it's like Fake Crash has got Entropy's time twister machine and gone back in time and has sort of set like, I don't know, done like something, he's meddled with time and he's got all these Fake Crash dinosaurs roaming around. Fun level, really fun. Retro Stadium, it's... I don't know where to put Retro Stadium. I'll just put it up here because I think it's fine. It's like a poor man's Turbo Track. Actually, if I'm gonna put Turbo Track, I should do Turbo Track and Retro Stadium together because I don't like either of these tracks really. I think they're both kind of cumbersome, especially the bit with the with the wall. You know what I'm talking about, where you have to sort of like zigzag around the wall. And again, I said it in Oxide Station, just spamming the speed boosts does not make an interesting level. It doesn't, I'm sorry. And the same can be go for Slide Coliseum. I'll put Slide Coliseum just ahead of them actually, because I think the slide mechanic is a lot better. The fact that the track doesn't have turbo boosts, whatever, makes it more interesting, I think, than these two tracks. But yeah, whatever. Bruce Tubes is okay. It's slightly worse than Android Alley though, so I'll put it there. But I do like Ruse Tubes a lot. I think it's a early track. It sort of introduces you to the mechanics of sliding around. It's got a cool shortcut. I like the aesthetic of it a lot, especially in the PS1 version is really cool for like what was capable at that time. Having a track submerged underwater was really cool. I like Ruse Tubes a lot. It's a lot of fun, especially for an early track. It really captures like a really interesting atmosphere, really interesting vibe. Yeah, Ruse Tubes. Sewer Speedway is absolutely the best of the best. How could you even argue with that? Sewer Speedway has the most iconic shortcut in the entire series. I will die on that hill. It is the most iconic shortcut. Especially as a kid, when you first find out about it, it is mind-blowing. The stuff with the half-pipe stuff is cool. I like that. I like the, at the start, you've got like 2 different sort of options to take. Or 3 actually. You could go one jump, the other jump, or you could go underneath. Yeah, fantastic track. Absolutely fantastic track. It's mind-blowing how well designed this track is. Because everything sort of splits off and then it kind of comes back together at the end. And it makes for a lot of fun. Makes for a very competitive time. Very, very challenging Platinum Relic time as well. But very fun to get. It's actually one of the more fun ones because mastering the art of picking which routes to take and which boxes to get on which lap is a lot of fun. So, Sewer Speedway, fantastic. Spyro Circuit is probably my least favorite, and I love Spyro, I love my boy Spyro, but Spyro Circuit is so disappointing. I think it is just boring. The fact that it's just basically you going from, oh, here's a Spyro level, here's a Spyro level, here's a Spyro level, but the geography isn't interesting. The fact that you're kind of just going in a straight path, there's no divergence to it. They've got that one room at the start, but that's about it. They've got the crate that when you hit it, it just blows you up, you know? It's just, let's put a hazard in just for the sake of putting a hazard in. The gems, when you actually touch the gem, they have the Wumpa sound effect, which is confusing. The gem colors, obviously, I didn't expect them to do this, but there's no, like, every gem is just, like, one Wumpa. It doesn't, like, work. The mechanic isn't the same as in Spyro. Very constricted. It's, you know, I guess it's interesting with the wizards, from, what is it, not Wizard Peak, actually, yeah, Wizard Peak, from Magicraft is whatever. They're, like, fighting each other again. But it's funny when you actually hit the ice and you hit the sort of, you know, whirlwind things they're shooting at each other, you just spin out. There's no unique animation for it. So, yeah, it's a bit disappointing. Very boring track again, as I said. It's one of those, it falls into Hyperspaceway category where you're kind of just going through a, like a bunch of different areas. You don't have time to really soak it all up. Yeah, not so great, Spyro Circuit. Try again next time. Thunderstruck. I like Thunderstruck. Sue me. I'm gonna put up here. Very good. Probably the bottom tier of very good. I think it's a good track. I love the rainy aesthetic. I think it's really foreboding. It's a fun track to drive around. Lots of chance for blue flame stuff. It's got a half pipe thing, which is cool. It's got those sort of steps that you go down. It's got that bit at the end with the 2 guys whacking the thing. I don't know. It connects with me. I like Thunderstruck. I didn't expect to love it that much, and then I played it recently, you know, a bunch of times, and I liked it. And it was the first track I beat an Oxide time on in Nitro Fueled as well, so it's got like a, you know, it's got a soft spot in my heart for it. Tiger Temple is also very good. Love Tiger Temple. Can't go wrong. Actually, I'll put him above there. Can't go wrong with Tiger Temple. I think the shortcut is what makes this one. The sort of, as a kid, when you figure out that shortcut, it is the coolest thing ever. If you do it without a guide or anything, if you're just playing around and you throw a bomb at the mouth thing and it opens up and you go through, it is awesome. I like the bit at the start with all the jumps, all the ramps and everything. I like the sort of fire heads that are sort of spitting fire at you. You gotta avoid those. Yeah, fun track. Really, really fun track. Tiger Temple, mwah, excellent. Tiny Arena has to be up here and best of the best. How could you not put Tiny Arena up here? Now, I know what people are probably going to say who disagree with that idea. is that Tiny Arena. It's a Wario Stadium, or yeah, Wario Stadium, that's what it is. I'm thinking Wario Coliseum, but that's Double Dash. It's a Wario Stadium clone. It's just a bunch of driving on sort of dirt. It's not that interesting. Okay, I accept all that. I accept all that, but it is probably, as far as tracks go that test your pure driving ability, the #1 track for testing your driving ability. It is merciless, it is unforgiving. The entropy times, the oxide times, the velo times, getting all those are exceedingly difficult, but really rewarding, because all you have to do is blame yourself, right? It's up to you to get skillful at the level, skillful at the track to beat the times. It's got a lot of memorable parts too. I think the bit at the end, especially where it's sort of it's coming out of the whole track and you've got to get to the finish line. You've got to go over the mud pit thing, and then over those other bits and then get to the finish line. It's a lot of fun, very memorable track. Tiny Arena, very good, very good. Best of the best. Tiny Temple, it's okay. It's fine. I like this track fine. I think the shortcut is kind of lame on it. I don't think it's that interesting. I think the bit in the middle with Tiny is very reminiscent of Tiger Temple. I guess you can hit the boxes to split the stuff off. I like the bit with the sort of electric wire. That's kind of interesting, I guess. It's like a crashed spaceship. I don't know, there's not a lot to say about it. It's one of those very basic tracks. I think the big Tiny statue is kind of cool, and I like keeping Blue Flame on the track as well. At the very, sort of, when you come around the second lap, it's kind of challenging to keep Blue Flame on it. I will say though, why is there a track called Tiny Temple in Nitro Kart? I thought they were meant to be on like another planet or something, so it's, what, is Tiny like recognized on another planet as like a god or something? I don't know. Is there a planet where Tiny came from? Is he a space alien? Who knows? Okay, finally we have Twilight Tour. And I'm going to put this one up in okay. I'm going to put it there. There? Yes, I'll put it there. I think Twilight Tour was cool. I think it was very good for like the first bonus track. I think the again, it's one of, you know, it kind of reminds me a bit of Hyperspace Bay, a bit of Spyro Circuit, where you're going through different parts of the track, but it feels more cohesive than those two. It feels like you're going through this one Egyptian town. I mean, the Pharaoh Cortex thing is so iconic at this point, and it's kind of funny because it's, what, like 3 levels from Crash Bandicoot Warped have Pharaoh Cortex in it. It's, you know, it's interesting. But yeah, it's finally we got a level based on the Egyptian theme from Crash 3, which I think was well overdue. I like the shortcut in the track. It's a very traditional feeling Crash Bandicoot shortcut. I like the bit at the end too, where you can kind of take, you know, the left path, the right path, or you can jump up and go in the middle bit. I will say the bit where you're driving through the bazaar at the very end is kind of, it goes on for a bit and there's nothing really happening, but that's probably the biggest knock I'd have to it. But yeah, I like Twilight Tour. I think it was very exciting for being the first bonus level as well. The first like new like track since, I guess, Crash Tag Team Racing. And none of these tracks are from Crash Tag Team Racing. Real missed opportunity, I think, not having CTTR in it, but oh well. Alright, so let's have a look at this. Best of the best. Hot Air Skyway. Do I like it more than Cortex Castle? Yes, I do. Do I like Cortex Castle more than Electron Avenue? I think I do. But I think I like Puppy's Pyramid more than Cortex Castle. Is that controversial? I don't think I like Sewer Speedway more than Electron. No, yeah. That's definitely the way it goes. And probably that as well. Yeah, I think that's good. I think well, Mega Mix Mania and Tiny Arena are similar, but I think just maybe the nostalgia factor for Tiny Arena alone pushes it over Mega Mix Mania a little bit. Let me have a look here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking okay. You know what, Barren Ruins is... Actually, the more I think about it, I think Barren Ruins is just slightly... I mean, yeah, okay, you can't put Barren Ruins ahead of Crash Cove. You can't do it. Yeah, that's it. I'm very happy with that. I think it's interesting. It's very top-loaded. A lot of best of the best to okay stuff. I mean, you know, you don't have much going on down here. Not a lot, I don't think. There's only a few tracks here, and I think I'm happy to say all of these tracks I would groan at if I had to play them again. especially these ones. I generally don't like these tracks at all. So yeah, there you go. And now let's just have a quick perusal as well. I think Crash Team Racing is definitely the most represented in the best of the best. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Crash Team Racing tracks up here. Only 1 Nitro Kart and only 1 bonus track as well. And I think you'll find Nitro Kart, there's, you know, no really terrible Nitro Kart tracks. They're all sort of in the middle of the road. A lot of, actually, very good, has a lot of Nitro Kart representation. Yeah, so I think the way I would say Crash Team Racing sort of goes is Crash Team Racing tracks, the original, you sort of have like, I can take it off full screen, I'm going back to full screen here. Crash Team Racing, you sort of have really, really good, and then like some really bad ones, and like some in the middle. Nitro Kart, I think you're mostly in the middle, and I think same with the bonus tracks. I think the middle and then really bad, like Gingerbread Joyride, Spyro Circuit, I hate those 2 tracks. And then you've got like Retro Stadium and Nina's Nightmare and Drive Through Danger, which are in the not so good category. So the only ones I really like from the bonus tracks, I guess, are Prehistoric Playground, Koala Carnival, Twilight Tour, and Mega Mix Mania. But anyway, that is it for today. If you guys want to use this thing, I'll link it below in the description. You can feel free to fill it out yourself. Let me know if you want to make a video too. I'd be very interested to see what your tier list is for Crash Team Racing tracks. And yeah, thanks for watching. And as I always say, farewell for now, but not forever. I'll see you later, guys.